All praises to the Most High. This is Elliot. So I was sitting around thinking today about going live and talking about what I'm about to talk about, and that's just my thoughts as I'm starting to process different information post-election, watching how things have changed, and just kind of try to navigate how I'm going to move in the future and how I would recommend you move, even though this isn't any kind of strong um, feeling that I have. It's just basically uh, notes I've taken, observations that I have, and what I think is necessary as we continue to move forward. Well, I will say that since Trump has been elected, that my investments, that the markets are up, up, up. And if you guys are investing in any way, if you have, investment programs from your employer and stuff like that, take a look and notice that there has been an increase in value, probably across the board. People are calling this the Trump effect um, in certain ways financially. Will it last? Who knows? How long will it last? Who knows? So I wouldn't recommend making any major moves. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but if anyone, um, deals with someone like that, you may want to see what they have to say, as long as they're also led by the Spirit of the Most High as well. I mean, that's going to be your ultimate guide and how you're going to make moves in these last days. But I will say that across the board, um, some people are getting wealthy, and you know that the tops are getting very, very wealthy. Piggybacking on a video that I made recently about Elon and Trump being so close together, it is official that I believe that Elon Musk is now a part of Trump's cabinet. So just to know where that evil is and where it's being placed in these different parts of the administration, just to know that we're still on the same trajectory, and that's down in terms of where we are in the world and the things that must come down in order for the Most High to do what He needs to do. So, just thinking about that, I'm realizing that, we have to still stay focused in on all the things um, that we have to do, and that's just getting ourselves right and together. I mean, Trump has a a very strong and aggressive day one plan. So many things he's talking about, from prayer and Bible access and the transformer agenda in the schools, um, the deportation of illegal immigrants, and so on. So many things so aggressively that he's coming in to say that he's going to correct to make America, quote unquote, great again, as if it ever was. So we need to know that, you know, as we're seeing such aggressive rhetoric and lip service coming from him, we're going to have to say, what does this really mean? Why so aggressively are we hearing and seeing things? And, I have to keep my ear to the street. A lot of times I don't even get involved in type of stuff like this, but because of what I'm doing here on online, I feel like I have to, and even the Most High leads me sometimes to be able to digest and process information, so I can help. It'll help me discern the times. So, but I do recommend that you guys don't get caught up in a lot of the stuff that's going on. I believe a lot of the programming is going on about black men and black women, for Trump, and how they're feeling certain type of ways, and all these videos of people melting down. I believe more than anything that that's programming, because at the end of the day, not everybody is going to be reacting with such behavior. And if you do see some people just completely bugging out over one person in office, more than likely that there's some demonic roots there, and you're just seeing a demonic manifestation. Because even as believers, even as we follow the Most High and do what we need to do, we got to realize that no matter who gets in office, we have to trust that the Most High has done that, and we just have to continue to stay focused in on what we need to stay focused in on, and that's coming out of her and preparing ourselves to come out of her. And so that's what I'm really want to talk about today. So post-election, the processing I'm really starting to get is that coming out of Babylon, coming out of this world, coming out of the matrix, it's going to require more than just sitting at home, more than just, um, you know, reading the word and fellowshipping with just the people you know. And maybe that the extent of that is your family. But literally, so many things have tentacles, so many things are tied and attached to us from this world. And in particular, I'll start off with this one. The Most High is really showing me is that, look, I'll just put it this way because this is the easiest way maybe for you to understand it. The standard American diet, they call it SAD, SAD. So many things that have been placed in our food supply, the way our food is processed, the food that's available to us, the fast food restaurants that are even out there, and it seems like that's the only thing that's really out there now because in a lot of different metropolitan areas, the fast food restaurants are the only things that are surviving. The way, even even in the grocery store, the processed foods that are coming from the the center aisle of the grocery store, and even the conventional fruits and vegetables that are there with all the pesticides and stuff like that. I'm pretty well versed on health food, and I've looked at it over the course of the years. And I have seasons of up and down, getting lazy. It's just so hard. It's a battle. It's a battle, really, to just try to stay healthy in an environment where things are set up for us to not be so. So what we need to do, fortunately, is to realize that we can only make it by discipline, like by forcing ourselves to do what's possible, what's necessary for us to handle the business that needs to be handled. And that's going to really come down to setting ourselves apart in so many ways. And that's not necessarily just setting ourselves, like I said, it's just not staying at home and not, you know, going to certain establishments and stuff like that. It's really, what are we putting in our body? What are we feeding our spirit with? Of course, that's the word and certain teachings and stuff like that, prayer and fasting. But also, what are we actually digesting? The physical food. Coming out of her is going to be involved. That's going to be involved. How much are we digesting? How much are we processing of this media and this hype and all the different programming that's coming our direction that's trying to get us off track? That's something else that we need to, be mindful of. If it comes to the point where you have to use some of the things that are on social media or your phone to remind you to limit your screen time, to take breaks, to get out in nature as much as possible, get outside, communicate with someone face to face, have a conversation with someone that is alive and breathing across from you. I mean, these are going to be important because, as the world, we can see the end result of what they've been doing for a long time. And it's really trying to get people isolated, so enthralled and almost entrapped in technology and media, and sick because of the things that they're feeding us. And, I think about that and I was like, man, it's crazy because I've seen the evolution. I remember being a kid and I would just be outside and playing all the time with my friends. I knew who my friends were, I knew where they lived. It's kind of different day like that. Even if that's possible, I wouldn't recommend parents just turn their children loose with all these random children, some of them demon possessed, running around here with all these different influences, and the influences not but just because of the stuff they're getting, but the stuff they were exposed through social media and other things. Um, I remember, food portions being a certain size. I remember being able to actually go get some food and you didn't have to say made with real ingredients or all natural. Like, so what are we really eating? What if they have to say that about food? What is it? They're telling us right now that none of the stuff is any good. So to come out of this matrix, look, I tell you, it's step by step by step. And now, whether it seems to be some weird calm out here because the things have, um, the election has passed. What are we going to do? How are we going to make it to the next level in terms of our spiritual walk? And today, I just want to emphasize that for me, the downloads that I've been getting is to really come out of her in different ways. Come out of her, when I mean come out of her, come out of Babylon, come out of the matrix, as the scripture says, come out of her, my people, and be not partakers in her sin. So we can just be whole in every way. Like even with a diet thing, you know, all those things, all these ingredients, all the sorcery and alchemy, which I can go into, and I'll probably will go into because I'm learning even more so nowadays. All these things, all the stuff that they're putting in food, um, in our food supply, in our water supply, in the chemicals. I mean, it's literally making us in so many different ways, you know, or it's limiting the amount of nutrients that we get. For some people, it can affect your mood, your personality. Um, I was even seeing, I saw a reel today, some about dishwasher soap. Of course, I should have known because I know that your skin is is the biggest organ, and you put body wash on, you put different things on your skin, and it's full of chemicals, full of coloring, and it's absorbed into your bloodstream and into your system. But I've also just recently heard about how the detergent that you put in the dishwasher, that stuff, although it eats up film and different things on your dishes, it could do the same thing into your gut, and just cause all kind of disruption in your stomach, your gut flora, and just cause you to be sick in that way too. Because see, that's one of the most important things that we need to make sure that we're establishing to be healthy. Your digestive system, your internal gut, because that's where really everything stems from in terms of your health. And so that's why there's been such an attack from Satan and his demons to really come against us in such a way. And so that's why I, personally feel like at this moment, as things may be changing around us and there might be a slight euphoria for some, or some people are maybe just happy that things are still, and maybe there are some people out here that are just having a fit internally because they don't like the way the world's going. Um, don't get distracted by all that. I say this: it's time to work on ourselves. It's time to really, really come out of this world and the things that it offers. And I would say that you may want to focus in on your health, because health is wealth. And I believe that that is something that most every one of us do, especially as Israelites. We're just kind of programmed to do that. Like, the Most High has given us so much, even in his law, statutes, and commandments, in his word, the way he talks about food and how it's prepared and what to eat and what not to eat. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just in our DNA. And so we naturally gravitate towards it. I remember a long time ago when I first started going to health food stores, and, I lived in a city where it's mostly white folks, and that was cool. But I noticed when I would go to the health food store, I would see all kind of black people. I was like, man, I didn't know black people were healthy. I mean, I was raised around a lot of white people, so I was just used to seeing them everywhere. But when I went to the health food store, you would think that because it's all that is, the stereotypes and the way they uh, push black people into to poor sections of the communities, and don't give them the foods and resources in the grocery stores. A lot of food deserts out in our communities. You would think that maybe they weren't there, but I noticed, and then it finally dawned on me that maybe the reason why we're so drawn to these health food stores and these natural food stores is because that's what we yearn and desire. It is for us. It's not just for the people who can afford it. It's for us. It's for the people who want to live pure and whole and not have to take so much mess in and be sick. So I don't know how I got off on that, but I'm really starting to say, oh, what I was really trying to say is this, is that we're really programmed to really want to strive and live healthy in the things that we do. It's not, if there was a table full of all these chemicals and colorings and the alchemy and all this kind of witchcraft that they put in food right there, and then there was a pure piece of, like on one table, and then the other table set before us, there was just pure meat, pure grains, pure food, and that we had a choice to pick one to eat from. If you see all that stuff, all those chemicals, all that nasty stuff that's not food, would you take it naturally? No. But once they package it up nice and put some artificial flavors and natural flavors, which are artificial or which are basically evil, touch on that later, um, and all these different things, pest stuff that kills bugs and all kind of stuff, would you put that in your system, or would you put something more pure and natural? Of course, you would naturally gravitate for what's pure and natural, unless you have something in you that's yearning and desiring these cravings to want you to want that bad stuff, and that's really what they want to accomplish, is putting the stuff in you for you to yearn and desire and crave more of it. So, this is probably why they took out in so many different versions of the scripture, Matthew 17:21, that some of these demons only come out through prayer and through fasting. So fasting, incorporating fasting into our lifestyle is something as well that needs to be done a lot of times, just to break the cravings, to break the strongholds, to kill off the parasites and the little miniature demon colonies that are in our systems that are wanting us to crave more and more. But I'm not going to go into that deeply in this video. I just wanted to touch on my thoughts post-election and really what it's going to take for us, brothers and sisters, to come out of her. So many different things have been provided for us, the things that make you think that we're on top here and this is the best place in the world to be. But once you pull the curtain back, once you look under the rock, once you peek behind the stage, you'll see that it's pretty musty and disgusting, and that we really don't want any part of it. It's had some benefits, of course, but look, now is the time to continue to get things right and do what's necessary for the Most High. All praises, and until the next time we speak, this is Elliot. Shalom.